Hi everybody, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the Illumined Guru. It's February 5th, 2018, and this is going to be your energy report that will take us through the solar eclipse happening in Aquarius on February 15th. And I want to touch upon those energies and give you an energetic update for twin flames and those navigating the ascension journey during this time. And also just a couple of reminders is my intensive program starts on February 18th, just a few days after the eclipse, and I think I have 5 spots left. So if you've been thinking about it, but then you weren't sure, and now you're like, oh, maybe I should sign up now because the spots will fill up. I'm intending to have a full program. And some of you have asked me about the schedule for that. So basically from Sunday through Thursday, it's self-study. So I'll email you out the day's coursework, worksheets, exercises, meditations, links to the Facebook closed group. I'll be posting a video each day that will guide you to the exercises and coursework. You'll do that on your own. So if you skip a day or you need to catch up, sometime in that 4 or 5 day window, you can do that. On Fridays and Saturdays, I'm intending to hold the private sessions, the weekly private sessions, which are a half hour. That happens every week for the 3 weeks. And those are for intuitive guidance, anything you're needing at the time, reviewing the material, discussing where you've been blocked or, epiphanies that you've had and doing the material during the week. I'm there to assist you privately. Those time slots, if Friday and Saturday don't work for you, we can set something up on Sunday. We can figure that out. So I will cater it to the group, to the participants. We'll send out like a sign-up sheet for those. And then I'm intending to hold the group calls on Friday evenings, but I'm not sure. So I want to get the group call filled up first and then poll everybody. Seems like we have a lot of people on the West Coast in America. So that means that Pacific time. So we might end up just finding a really good compromise for the group, but when we can hold those calls where it would be good for everyone. So nothing is etched in stone, but once the whole group is formed over the next week, I'll email everyone and we'll set up those time slots for the individual sessions as well as for the weekly group calls. Okay, so I'll make it work for you. Like I said, a lot of it's self-study and it's just an amazing, amazing program, and I hope that you'll take part in it. Also, over the next few weeks or so, I'll be posting 2 series on YouTube. They're going to be in labeled playlists. One is a soul coaching series, and the second is they're called Mission Mondays. Mission Mondays, I'll be interviewing clients of mine that have got on their mission. We'll be talking about their healing process, what they're doing in their mission, how they're creating it, bringing it into life. I think you'll really, really love this. In the soul coaching series, we'll just touch upon concepts, tools, ideas, tips, and things that I utilize in my soul coaching practice, and that'll help you on your ascension journey. So I hope you'll tune in for that. All right, and if you do want to work in private session or check out the intensive program, you can do so on theilluminedguru.com, and the website link is right on the YouTube channel art as well. So now to the energies. I have not pulled a spread. I'm shuffling some cards right now, so let's just talk about what's happening. So twin flames are being highlighted right now, okay, especially during these eclipses. So on a collective level, we're looking at twin flames actually processing or doing some of the work, goosebumps, for the collective to balance the masculine and feminine energy. So if you're having a lot of this tug of war stuff come up in your twin flame connections, masculine, feminine, control, loss of power, trying to find your own power, trying to get into harness your own femininity or your own divine masculine power. This is all because you are being called forth to do the work to raise consciousness. And what's happening that we're seeing outwardly in society, which is basically like the way the matrix, the systems have been set up, how we've been born into society with these certain systems set up, these certain beliefs, these certain structures. We were asked to follow suit, and now we're seeing through it. We're seeing the truths, right? We're seeing like that healthcare system is broken, and that this type of food is no longer healthy for us, and that if we're going to believe the government or follow the suit, we're not really seeing the truth in it. So a lot of us, especially those of us coming into a higher consciousness, we're shifting in big ways. We're going into plant-based diets. We're eating organically. We're finding holistic ways to heal ourselves and moving away from the healthcare system. We are, and this is what you need to do. What you need to do is to find the way to uplift rather than looking at what's wrong and trying to pull it down, okay? Because we don't want to put our energy there into feeding into the problem or feeding into that matrix that's kind of like that false system that's been established. We are just being asked to shift over to the truth and to put that into action, to put that into motion, to put our beliefs in that, into like put it into motion, right? To envelop it as our own. And that means, like I said, shifting the way that we've been living. And this can be a departure from following suit. And so as twin flames, we're doing that collectively. We're doing that individually. We're doing that in our twin flame dynamics. We are uplifting. And so as you make these shifts within yourself, know that you are affecting conscious humanity right now in a huge, huge, huge way. And so in essence, twin flames are kind of doing that heavy lifting for humanity. And so if you're feeling like things are tough or a struggle, or you're battling with some of these energies right now, to come into balance, because balance is going to be a key theme for this year. Okay, and I see it in that we are in an 11 year, and that we've got the 1-1. Okay, so it feels like that. Who are we as an individual as compared to the collective or society or the planet? 1-1, the balance within ourselves, the masculine, the feminine, and this mirroring with our twin flame and who we are, like I said, as individuals, and what that means as we stand here as representative of the collective, okay? So big themes here, and there's a lot of this that you're tapping into energetically that you're not quite aware of. And so if you feel exhausted, or you feel taxed, or you feel energetically drained, you may not be realizing how much subconscious or like higher conscious energy you're putting out to do this work. I want you to know it's very important. It's very important that you rest when you need to. You may be examining your own situation, just kind of looking at it narrowly, going, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. This situation's draining me, but I really do feel like the work that you're doing is for this bigger cause, this bigger purpose. And if you're feeling drained, it's time to replenish. It's time to like go back to, they're saying water, baths, salt baths, taking showers, washing things away emotionally, getting things cleansed. It's time to give back to yourself, cleanse, self-care, that type of thing. Okay, all of those things. So let me continue to pull some cards for the solar eclipse in Aquarius. With the Aquarius energy, we are being asked very much to look at the collective as we relate to it, as we contribute to it. And you're being reminded in this energy what a powerful light worker you are. And this is going to be reminded through triggers of fears of abandonment, of, needing to surrender. I'll just get some more cards out here because it's coming through. You're being asked to surrender, okay? And the surrender is also about making a decision. And the decision has to do with expansion, okay? So you have a choice right now to stay in a lower vibrational energy or to stay on the lower timeline, or you can jump. a timeline. You can go to the higher timelines. You can choose to expand. You can choose to, your soul is going there anyway. Your soul is up leveling. It's just, you could choose right now with this light coming in to stop resisting and allow yourself to go. And in allowing yourself to uplift at that level, to go to further expansion, to go to this higher timeline, in order to do that, you're going to have to let go of some things, okay? False attachments, could be relationships, could be the twin flame connection right now in the 3D. You are being asked to do that in order to expand. And some of us have been fighting that, resisting it, going, no, I want to stay here and I want to do this and I want to do it just like this because I feel like I have more control. But what you're doing is you're keeping yourself in a holding pattern, and it's actually prolonging the inevitable ascension or up-leveling that you are going to eventually get to. So this is about a choice. And so you're being asked to choose to go, to release the resistance and allow yourself to be uplifted rather than you putting the resistance here, trying to control it and staying in this holding pattern longer than you need to be. Okay, but it is your choice. Some of you may choose to stay here at this level to learn the lessons, to really get more clarity. But clarity is something that's coming with this eclipse. And I do believe many of you in the collective are going to, both masculine and feminine, are going to choose to up level, especially the feminine. So we're seeing the Hanged Man. We're seeing this need for surrender. And this is funny too, because I feel like this is that light that's coming in. It's like, it's clarity, it's illumination. It's saying, okay, I must surrender now. I must go to my expansion. There is more on the horizon for me if I can just let go. If I can just let go of these false attachments, this need to control, this, it could even just be a comfort. This comfort, there is comfort in hanging on to these low vibrational energies, this fear, these toxic patterns, this toxic relationship, these addictions, these, they're crutches, okay? And what we're realizing is that we don't need them any longer. We can surrender, okay? And so in the surrendering, I feel like what we're being asked is to create something new. So we're getting the building blocks card. This is about, you will set up a firm foundation. As scary as it feels to let go, as scary as it feels to just surrender, it's going to give way to a new foundation that you will build. And it's the leap that is scaring most in the collective. It is the just relaxing. It's like, when you get on the roller coaster ride and you're holding on, you're so scared. And then it's like, eventually it just starts going and you're like, whew, and you just relax into it, right? I mean, you might still be holding on for dear life, but you do eventually just let go. And that's what we're being asked to do, is to just kind of relax into it. I'm being shown bottom of the deck in the tarot card, this same type of energy where we're getting the Two of Wands. We've got the Three of Wands, Two of Wands. This is about what we're doing in our careers, on our mission, in our spirituality, how we're looking at the world, how we're viewing ourselves in the world. And there is this view of like bigger things are here for us, and most of us know it, but we've been holding ourselves back from going there, especially the feminine, who's more ready, I feel, than the masculine to graduate to this level. But the masculine are actually making the same choice their expansion isn't going to be as huge of an up leveling right now, but I do feel like many of the divine masculine are choosing to let go of the crutches as well to start shifting. And that's like start shifting different levels of transformation, of thresholds of awakening, as I always say. One of the big things coming up with this and the twin flame connection, which it must be about this releasing and letting go and ridding of toxic cycles and all of that, is this fear of abandonment is coming up again with the twin flame crowning right over it. So they're saying, you know, to ask you asked your angels for help with this, and so it's showing up in my reading like this. Okay, so here's your orphaned little girl or orphaned little boy. This is that fear of abandonment. This is that old wound that still needs more healing. And I feel like the healing now, since most of you have the conscious awareness of where the wounds are coming from, the healing now is in the loving yourself. Jesus has been a big theme that has been coming to me. His energy is coming through me. I'm seeing the signs around me. This is about opening your heart to love, and I'm feeling the same like energy here, where it's also Mother Mary, and this is nurturing yourself, hugging yourself. We are raising consciousness, and you are being asked to love yourself at a greater level right now. In doing that, it's the way in which you will be able to find the clarity and make the decision that you need to jump the timeline, to expand, to not hold yourself back any longer, to surrender and get rid of toxic situations and low vibrational attachments. Okay? Attachments to fear. And this is, for the feminine, very much rooted in her insecurity, very much rooted in her need to be loved, very much rooted in that. And for the masculine, it's more egocentric, like getting away, dissolving the false structure, the false identity that he's had with his, with who he is. And at the core of that, there is the same wound, which is this fear of abandonment. And for the masculine too, some of the ways that he has ego attached or found that identity has been because of the walls that have gone up around his heart. The way that he has attracted love into him has been sort of through power or control, or through leading with his outward appearance, or like these are not, he hasn't been leading with the authenticity of his soul. And so now he's coming into that, and it's scary because there's this fear of, oh no, I won't be loved, or I will be left. Okay. The ego has been this false protection mechanism for him. So this is about growth. They're showing me for the masculine is big growth. Trees are coming up. So this always means that, you know, it may be good to get out in nature for all, but I really feel like this is about growth, and this is why we're seeing this for the masculine. Finding new roots, right? Building blocks we're seeing underneath, finding new roots in a new way of being, and then expanding up, growing up. And that's maturity for the masculine as well. Okay, so there's some maturation that's happening here over the next 3 or 4 months, 6 months in this cycle that we're starting with this eclipse. There is more maturity coming in. Okay, he's learning some really great lessons. He's building a new foundation. He's shifting. He's really getting ready to let go of this crutch. That's attachment to an old ego identity. That is attachments to low vibrational behaviors and ways of being. Yeah. So feminine, she's being asked to, if you get nervous, they're saying focus on service, okay? So it's like, if you get nervous, focus on service. Put your entire attention on answering the question, how can I make the world a better place? And so part of her surrendering any toxicities in her life, or and getting into more alignment with self-love and the Mother Mary and nurturing and opening her heart to others. Part of that is just shifting her focus from the twin flame, from the way that she's become mired maybe in the 3D, shifting her focus to her mission, to her creative projects, to herself. This is going to heal her. This is going to enable her to surrender. So if you don't know what to do to get into surrender, start to shift your focus onto you. Start to shift your focus onto the things that are passion projects, that are where you can help others, where you are helping others by helping yourself, by loving yourself as well. So don't forget that. And underneath for the feminine, we're seeing the food and hunger card come up. And this is about fear, lack thinking when it comes to money, being scared to make a leap around mission, around work. This is, past lives that she's carried in where there's been hunger, food, or scarcity, and, lack of food, or that lack thinking. And what they want to know is, as you be of service, as you give of yourself, as you love yourself more, you will line up with flow, with prosperity, with energetic flow. And this is very much rooted in that we're thinking that we're not good enough, okay? And some of this is from past life stuff that we've brought in, which we've battled this, in which we've felt this desperation, in which we've felt this lack, and so we've brought those fears in to this lifetime. And then we've also, chosen familial situations in which we recreated this wounding that led to beliefs around self-worth, or maybe we chose families that were very much attached to lack thinking, or that there's not enough. And so the feminine is being asked to get in alignment with herself, and especially her values, and love herself. And once she builds up her self-worth and confidence, it's going to be easier for her to maintain flow and stay in that energetic alignment with that, and let those old lack, those fears of lack, those fears of food, famine, food shortage, hunger, not having enough, not being able to provide for yourself or your family, that is going to dissolve. Also, what's come up in private session over the past few weeks has been the feminine battling within herself to become the total woman. And in the total woman, she's battling these old beliefs of, okay, in order to be strong and independent, I must be the breadwinner, okay? I must do that. I must be that. I have to, shoulder the weight of the world on my back. I've got to, be this, do this, and be strong. And then there's this other piece of her that if she's vulnerable, she feels like, oh my gosh, if I'm vulnerable, I'm not going to be able to create it. I'm not going to be able to do it. And then I'll be dependent on a man or somebody else for my sustenance and for my flow. And that's just illusion. And so if you're feeling any of these, if you're swinging on that pendulum, right, which is like false masculine, I have to be strong, I have to go out and get it, I have to do it, I have to provide, I have got to shoulder the weight of the world. Okay, if that's that, or you're in fear of being, the doormat, too submissive, or not being able to provide, right, not being able to create or manifest. And so what you're being asked, feminine, is to get into your divine feminine power, which is all about creating through energy, through thought, through intention, through your inner knowing, through your inner guidance system. Okay, because that's where your power is. And when you're in that power, you're in trust, and you don't have to fear one extreme or the other. Okay? And you don't have to go to the extremes. You can simply be the total woman, who is someone who can manifest and also be soft and receptive and partner with other people, but then also make her way in the world and do so with nurturing and caring and loving and trust and intuitive knowing and wisdom. Okay? So some of you may have to rewind that and listen to that again, because that's an important one. I feel like we're getting to the good stuff though, because underneath we're also seeing this for these cards under the surface are for both energies, and we're seeing Treasure Island, and Treasure Island is all about getting to the good stuff. These shifts that we're making during this eclipse, this is going to lead us to more happiness, more fulfillment, a truer way of being, trust in ourselves, more alignment, more alignment with our mission, more alignment with our worth, really shedding old identities, old insecurities, and loving ourselves enough to get past this fear of abandonment. And in this Treasure Island, this is all about, it's about your outward manifestations, which are a reflection of how you're feeling inwardly. Okay, so law of attraction is at work. It's reminding us that the good stuff is coming when we start feeling really good on the inside. Okay, so you're being reminded that you are a powerful light worker. We're seeing this. We know this. We know that the work that twin flames are doing is so, so, so important right now. Masculine's being called into his third eye chakra. Okay, he's seeing things. He's seeing. He's got animal totems around him, animal symbolism. He's got repeating patterns. He's seeing things. He is waking. His third eye is waking up through his dream state, through the imagery and symbolism that is finding its way to him. His awareness is heightening for it. He's being asked to open up to that. Trust it. Look at the symbolism. What's reoccurring? What are the patterns, masculine? If you're seeing patterns of any sort, signs, trust them, look them up, find out what they mean for you. Okay? Because there are messages here for you. And then at the bottom of the deck with the past life and I call past life, early life, or right now deck is the wisdom card. And this is what I'm talking about. This is about moving through life from our inner wisdom, our divine knowing, our connection to our divine self. And instead of making these decisions from fear, instead of making these decisions from negative attachment, because we're being called to expansion and we're being called to be flexible. Okay, so flexibility is coming up again. We saw this in the last reading, but this is specific for the collective, for both twin flames, for the masculine and the feminine. We're being asked to be flexible and to surrender. So I'll leave you with that. Check out my soul coaching series that I'll be posting over the next week or so. I'll probably upload a video or two each week. And so we'll build that series over the next few weeks. They'll be short, 5-6 minute videos. So check that out. And again, you can view my services, or if you want to contact me, you can do so on theilluminguru.com. It's been great to connect with you, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.